Hey everybody, Dodger here. Welcome back to Formula 1 2019. It is time for round number 9 of our F1 2019 season with Ferrari. A little bit of a wrap up here to start out, since we're moving to Austria, a track that I list as probably my current favorite on the calendar. I figured this is the time to take a little time to overview our season so far. Currently we are sitting in P2, 3 points behind Charles Leclerc, which is interesting since he is the driver we replaced at Ferrari, and he replaced us at Alfa Romeo. Sebastian Vettel, our teammate, is behind us, 17 points back, and then Lewis Hamilton and Bottas, 17 and 30 back. It is at the point of the season now where we need to do a contract negotiation. I've actually not done super well with that stuff yet because we've had a bunch of hit or miss races, and honestly, too many misses. Which is interesting considering how relatively well we're doing in the points. So as we move forward here, okay, we got those 500 points. We can
Great
see.
work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you. We can see that our value, it's kind of just riding there in the middle, and then it's actually gone down. We're actually losing contract values. I've really got to step it up here. I'm hoping that this contract period in the middle of the season is where we really start to shine. So I'm going to try a little bit here to try and get a better chance in the races, and that is going for the level 2 pit stop efficiency instead of going for upgrade points, because I feel like our car is good at this point. Honestly, I could likely stop developing this car at this point and ride out the rest of the season and be just fine. So let's see if the level 3 race bonus paired with a level 2 pit stop efficiency and a 4th place qualifying 2nd place race is anywhere in the ballpark. Oh, well, I guess I need to actually hit the proposed contract button.
They aren't coming round to that proposal. Let's try something else.
Okay, so we're actually just above it. It's not like we're miles above our value. With our value still there, kind of just in the middle. I think it's just come down a little bit. I could improve our qualifying position to 3rd and bring the... I could keep that at 4th and bring the resource points down to 50. I think that's a pretty big change. Let's see what they think.
All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork.
Okay.
You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.
I'm pretty happy with that. That means that we are expected to qualify 4th, which is good because I've been struggling with qualifying, and expected to finish at least 2nd. And we get those faster pit stops, which hopefully will help us finish 2nd. And I'm not too worried about resource points since we got 1,786 right now. And we have a aero development to basically redo, so that's 300 points right there. And then I'm going to put the rest of those points into the chassis. I really want to do, the weight reduction here, which is a 2-weeker. That's 700 points. And that leaves us with 700 points, which we might have enough. No, these are 500. Alright, so we're going to bank those 700, and that'll help us do stuff in the next week. Alright, that has been kind of a season update for us at the moment. You can see the vehicle performance comparison down the right there. It is time to head to Austria, and we'll probably pick up this week somewhere like Q2 or Q3. Alright, that is Q1 in the books here in Austria. P3 in a rainy session, as you can see, but the rain is actually starting to taper off now. Car is pretty good in the rain. I'm no wet weather master, but I was pretty pleased with the way the car was driving in the rain here. And as the track dries out, get ready for a scorcher, because this, as I predicted, is the absolute best combo for this car. Let's look at the session info. Looks like it is about to dry out, so I'm going to give it maybe almost 10 minutes before we head out on track. But once we do, I really do think we have a car that should be on pole today. Like I feel like there's no excuse for me to not have this car on pole position. Looks like rain might be coming back later in the session, I hope that's not the case, but it is a possibility. All right, let's go out with like 5 minutes to go. And oh, we do need to change tires to the dry compound, obviously. So we'll get out there on softs and see how we do. Now I gotta retune myself a little bit here, having driven the track in the wet. The track should be pretty good right now. It should be at about optimal pace. And this was the first week in practice I was able to better Vettel's time on a qualifying run, so I'm hoping to be able to do the same. It's all about nailing the apexes here. Even if you wash the exits a little, even if you run over curbs, it's all about getting back to the gas as early as possible. That is basically the entirety of this track. And this car has been super good at that. And it's also been super good at handling the straightaway as well, which is, frankly, not much to do with the driver input, unfortunately. I can't really make any claims
2
that...
minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here, or we're out of qualifying.
Can't make any claims that it's me that's putting the car where it is in the field. It's just a good car. Good run there. Oh, very nice last sector. A 104.6 does better Vettel's time. I'm gonna run through this first sector and see how it is. Gonna see if it's necessary to run another lap. I don't see anyone else running any quicker, but we are running quicker. And I'm not really abusing the tires here. I would have no problem starting on these tires with 2 laps on them because we've been so easy on them here. Does look like it might be falling off just a little bit at this point though. Yeah, it's not going to be better, so I'm going to throw it into pit road now, but that should be good enough. And P1, P2, as I kind of suspected there, 104.6 to a 105.1. I've had the better of them this weekend. I don't know what it is, but something just clicked with me in this place. How about Lewis Hamilton getting knocked out there, P11? That's a pretty important moment, as that is one of our championship rivals. All right, I'm gonna go ahead on track on Q3 right now because it's gonna rain. Did I get all my words in? Yeah, this is Q3, and we saw that the rain was coming. And the last thing I want is to be out there not having a lap done before it starts to rain. As of right now, it's just like super foggy out. But the forecast definitely called for some rain. And in fact, I see a raindrop on my visor. I just want to get my lap in before anybody else gets a lap in. Looks like somebody's on track ahead of me here. So they have the potential of having like 3 seconds better of a track, but that shouldn't matter. The game does work in mysterious ways when it comes to qualifying and rain. But even if the track doesn't get terrible, if it goes to the point where it turns DRS off, then your laps are done. You will do no better. Wow, Lando got out there real early. A 106.0. I do think the track has slowed down already. This does not feel like nearly the grip levels we had. A 105.9, definitely not. It just tried to kick out of me on the entry there. It was pretty rough. 105.5 for Vettel. A 105.6 for us. I think that's it. I think those were the laps. Ah, man, yeah, it's gonna rain for the rest of Q3, so Vettel gets the better of us again here. I have had some really poor qualifying luck. Man, we had him in Sector 1 and Sector 3, but he just destroyed us there in Sector 2. I was struggling for grip down there. So, it is what it is. I can't imagine anyone's going to do any better laps from here on out.
What a beautiful backdrop to a motor race. We're here in the Styrian Mountains, of course, and they've watched over some cracking races throughout the history of this Grand Prix. Controversy, of course, think back to 2002, but also great joy. Do you remember Niki Lauda's historic home victory in 1984? It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sebastian Vettel has a clear track ahead of him today. He starts in pole position, and red completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Norris, Nico Hülkenberg, and Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, and Pierre Gasly, Hamilton, Giovinazzi, Lance Stroll, and Magnussen. Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Devon Butler and Alexander Albon, Grosjean and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
You qualified higher than we were expecting, so see if you can keep this position in the race.
I feel like I qualified a little bit lower than I was expecting. But this race looks like it is going to be a soft to medium strategy, 14 laps on the soft, and I think I'm going to put just a touch of fuel. Actually, let me go to my... Okay, so, wait, this one? Personalized, yes. So lap 15 is what they're saying would do us better. So we'll do that. We'll go an extra lap, and I like the idea of going the extra lap, because it means that we don't have to deal with traffic. And that's the only thing that I think could really mess us up here today. Alright, so after getting pole position, I feel kind of stolen from us. Let's try to make sure this race does not get stolen from us. That is a daunting view down to turn 1, I tell you. Good start. We were able to clear and get behind Vettel. Oh, but we're getting dive bombed. Good and clear, though. Good and clear. Vettel has really scooted away. I'm surprised by that. I did not think he got that great of a start. It might be that just little bit of fuel I put on board. That will pay off later. Like there was a little bit of an incident behind us. But it is cleared, so no safety car. This is a track that I think is a little prone to the safety cars. Vettel really scooting away right now. Off to a very good start. I'm not really pushing my car. I wouldn't say I'm pushing it beyond its limits at all. I'm kind of just not cruising, but running a comfortable pace. Not even using full energy. A little bit too much inside curb there. That can be a problem.
The energy store is getting worn, reducing our overall capacity. The more charge you hold, the faster that capacity will drop.
I have noted that that is a little bit of a problem. We're only missing like 3 bars out of that battery charge though. And I never, ever run my battery at that much charge anyway. So, I'm not too worried about that. I'm a bit worried about losing touch with Seb here. My opening laps have not been super clean. It's probably a little bit of a surprising strategy for us to not attempt the undercut. But I really do feel like our car is going to come around to us versus Seb's later in the run. At least I hope that's the case. That's what it felt like in practice, but it's not impossible that there was a little bit of sandbagging going on ahead of us here. I just saw Seb get a little loose in that last turn.
Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled.
As of right now, he has himself well clear DRS range, so we need to close into that. And I might use a little bit of fuel to get there if I have to. We're already at the point where these tires are probably going to start to lose speed. But you actually gain speed with fuel burn off really quickly here as well. So it might even out. Car feels like a pig down there with all the fuel on board. Kind of skated the nose hard there as well. Nice run. I feel like Sector 3 is where I make up the most time on him. We were definitely quicker. Not just in Sector 3, but the whole lap. That didn't help anything though. Too much curve on the exit. Looking at the field, this is between me and him today. I don't think anyone else is gonna have any say in this one at all. This is the perfect track for this car. Especially as fuel burns off and it's gonna handle better down here. We are really gonna rocket away from the field then. All right, we still got 7/10 of a lap of extra fuel on board at this point. So we didn't use all of our extra fuel already. Closing, but I don't think we quite got to DRS. Nope, 1.2. Let's try and clean up turn 1. Much better. Much, much better. Saving a little energy at this point. Oh, double clutch the gear. That's really easy to do with these G27 paddles. The springs in them are just much too weak. Really losing the nose through there as these tires start to get a little bit unhappy. Yeah, I feel like we lost about all the gains we had earlier. Another pretty good run through the last sector might have saved us a bit. 1.7, it was a loss. That's wide. Gotta clean that up. I gotta reel myself back in here. I think I'm overdriving the car because I'm frustrated that I am behind him. I didn't think it was gonna be this way. Look, I mean, the gap that we've built on the rest of the field right now is absolutely insane. We could pit whenever the heck we want in this race. There's not going to be any field to mess with us. This lap definitely felt better. Just thanks to kind of calming myself down a little bit. Reeled them back in, 1.2. Now there's also the mind games of how much energy is he using? Does he have something in reserve? Can he pull back away at a DRS? At the moment, no. We just closed to well within DRS range. I'm surprised we didn't get it there. So I think he was using max power, max fuel for those opening laps, trying to get away from us. Trying to build that gap. But for the moment, that wasn't successful. Which is kind of a very Vettel thing to do, isn't it? That's one of the things that we witnessed him doing a lot in real life in 2019 was kind of overusing his car and overusing even his, I would say, skill level at times, just to desperately try to get away from his teammate. That felt like a struggle right there, didn't it? It seemed like maybe he was losing the front end. Oh, he was there. He got DRS down here, but I don't think it was enough to really mess with us. We run a little bit of a different line through here, so I gotta make sure we don't trip on each other. We certainly did not clear his DRS at this point. It's gotten quite cloudy again. This track's so small, one cloud can cover the whole place. Last thing we want to do is spin tires out of here. I'll give him the inside all day long. If he wants it. Interestingly, he did not want it there. I thought he would. .3 still back to Bottas, even though we've been doing a little bit of battling. I'm curious if they call us in for a different strategy. It feels like we've run through tires faster than they expected.
Quick word on the tyres, they look okay for now, but we can see the wear. If you can't feel it already, then you'll certainly start too soon. Just be careful.
Jeff is basically Google. He's always listening. Oh boy. That was messy. It was hopping and scooting all over the place on me. Again, I don't think he's close enough. He's just not, he's not matching our pace out of the turns at the moment. I spun them pretty good there though. That'll give him a little bit of a run. Wait, 6 back to Bottas, and then another 6 back to the rest of the field. Just trying to make sure I don't go too wide in that turn, because there's a nasty bump on the outside that you do not want to hit too much. Yeah, we're pretty much just running lockstep right now, which is fine with me. I'm not overusing my car. He's probably not overusing his car. Now this might be a little different. This might be where he gets a run. Ho-ho! Did not expect that. Completely off the throttle. Maybe I had gotten back into it, but in my mind, I had not even gotten back to the throttle, and it just hooked 90 degrees right. Thankfully, incredibly thankfully, he gave us tons of room there. I feel like he kind of kicked it out in the center of the turn as well. And that almost almost ended in disaster because we would have simultaneously spun around there had there been any contact, because neither one of our cars
Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the hards.
were too pleased. I just truly did not expect such a dramatic snap there out of my car. And I really don't believe I was on the throttle when it did it. I don't know. I could have been just. These things make so much power down low versus older F1 cars that you can't do the old bury it down in the low revs technique in order to get out of a turn, because the electric motor especially will just put all the power down that it can, even at low RPM. Okay, we're back within sniffing range now. Happy to be able to kind of cool things off, cool the driver off. Because of the way this race is played out, I might change my pit strategy a bit. Because I feel like we've lost a lot more pace than they anticipated us losing. And that might just be because of our fight. I don't know. Luckily we have the luxury of basically the two of us have this race to ourselves. Like, it's just between us. Oh, he's pitting already, isn't he? Alright, so yeah, we're gonna put on 14 instead of 15 then.
Sebastian's in for his stop.
He gave us DRS, which is nice. I'm gonna go with
In this lap. In
full-
this lap. Push now.
full modes on the car to try to take away some of the bite of the undercut.
We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon.
You know exactly what I'm doing, Jeff. Calm down. So much of this lap is on the power that having the higher power modes available and then not having the aero push of being behind a car in the turns can negate a lot of the speed he's going to
Don't
have
forget, box this lap.
on new tires. Okay, here we go. Let's see what that faster pit stop time negotiation did for us. Interestingly, he's not in third. I thought that's where he would be.
Release, release.
2.1 wasn't really that amazing. Bottas has pit already. Here comes Verstappen. There is Vettel.
To speed now. Let's get some heat into those tires.
Okay, we have the shorter line here. No, we don't get him. We absolutely must clear whoever this is. Who dove it in on us, but I'm not going to have any of it. And we have hard tires. Hard tires? I thought we were going to mediums. I'm sorry, what? When did I choose hard tires? And why did I choose hard tires? Did I misclick? Did I click the second one? I bet you I did. I bet you I clicked the second option instead of the primary option. Well, Vettel's on the same strategy, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it. It's not at all what I wanted. I think mediums was the right call. Weird. You know what? I didn't tell them I was pitting. I wonder if that's why. I forgot to tell them I was boxing this lap. No, they called me in, didn't they? I think they did. Vettel, you gonna go? And to give him a little boop out of there. He wasn't going. He's not a fan of the hard tires either. The bummer in this is no fast lap for us. That's why I wanted the mediums, because I thought that lap out on mediums we would 100% have fast lap. This story just has not gone at all like I anticipated it going. Should be able to line up a pass here. Might be a little too late. Yeah. Let's be careful on side by side out of here. We know what's happened. Hey buddy, how are you? Talk about just clearing there. You really kind of just let us in. There's no way we're gonna clear DRS range. Figured he might. Now, does he get double DRS here? He does. Sneaky. Did it again on me there. I'm really worried about that on these hard tires. I'm sure Jeff said, you know, beyond the hards, and it just didn't click in my head at all. Most of the things he says kind of go in one ear, out the other. There's not a lot of stuff in between my ears to block sound waves. Okay. That stopped my heart. That was 100% a race-saving maneuver for both of us. He hopped the curb real hard and was making a beeline for front wing to front wing contact. And I just was able to swing it wide at the last second there. Oh, nuts. Oh, nuts. These tires are not what I wanted, and my heart going through its reboot cycle has left us in a bad way. This is not the story. This is not how the story was supposed to play out. How far behind? 4.5. I honestly think just not being in his wake, we might run that down. He was 100% slowing me up just because we kept tripping on each other. We're running so close in times here, but in different ways. I swear to you, I've had the better of him in every practice. I really felt like I had the better of him in qualifying. Now I gotta prove it. That was almost my fast lap. Purple sector 3. We took a huge chunk out there. I feel like he is zero good on these hard tires. See, I'm a little short on fuel, but I'm just gonna use fuel until I can catch him and then save in his draft. If we play our cards right, maybe we can catch him and use his draft to pull us to a fast lap when we're lower on fuel. Because these tires are gonna be like new at the end of this race. Unfortunately, they'll be like new crappy hards. Oh, 2.0, yeah, he is losing a ton of time per lap here. You didn't see nothing? Is there a doctor in the house? I might need one. And possibly an underwear manufacturer. Yeah, we are just reeling. I don't think catching him is going to be a problem. Passing him has been proving to be a problem. No, not Rich. The other way, lean. Alright, we still have a good amount of laps left here. They're not very long laps, but they are laps nonetheless. So I don't need to panic. Let's get our fuel back into the right range. Let's try to save a little bit of battery energy. He'll know that I'm in lean now and probably push a little bit, try and get his gap back. That used to be a thing they told you all the time, is what mode your teammate was in. It's where the full reds line came from in our old series. 1.8, we're still running them down even at reduced pace. We should be about to the point where we're good on fuel. I'd like to have a little bit left in it for some rich mix later in the race, if possible. So with that back up, we should start to reel back in a bit here. Sun's coming out, that would be good. Our car definitely drives a little bit better with some heat in the track. We lost quite a bit of time that lap somehow. Didn't really have any incidents, so I don't know why. Might have just turned it up. Forgot to actually turn the fuel back up. I thought I had, but I must have hit something else. So now we really have extra fuel on board. Maybe I turned DRS up or something, I don't know. Honestly, these tires don't feel... I think it's just because they're the hard tires and they're just not... They're not the right tire for this track. I don't think it's a wear. I think whenever I'm pushing at its full potential, there's just not enough grip. But I'm pushing it to its full potential. A man on a mission. Full potential doesn't mean crap if I spin out though, so I do have to try to keep myself under control here. As relatively simple as this track is, it's one of the hardest to maintain pace, just because you are pushing your car to its absolute limits every single turn that it is going through.
Caution, caution. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through
Alright,
the
he got his
flags.
car way off track though, so we are good.
Okay, clear.
We need to make some headway though. We've not been closing at all here lately. If anything, the opposite of that. No more taking it easy anywhere. Even down here where I feel like I'm kind of struggling for grip. That's the sector 3 we need. That's what we need. Crowd knows what's coming. No DRS there, but we are picking up a touch of a draft. We have it here. As you saw earlier, this is an incredibly difficult part of the track to follow another car, because you lose the air on the nose and it will push off track in a absolute instant. That's an unwise passing opportunity that would compromise both of us, so I'm not going to do it. He tried to cover us. Not gonna happen. This is not over, because we're not gonna shake his DRS. I'm just gonna try and make sure we don't spin tires out of there. Touch the brakes late there. Brought him right back to us. Those feel so much better through here without him in front of us. You can see he fell back there as well, so the same thing happens to them. A little tire spin, but a really good exit, actually. Gives us a bit of breathing room. Still having to drive it, though. Tidy there, that was tidy. A little bit of a back step out. Gotta watch it on that stuff. Car is just so incredibly on edge around this whole track. Not aided by the fact that it is such a fast track. You run with virtually no aero. Pretty good gap built right now. He might be trying to rebuild some battery power, save some fuel or something to go for a late race attack. That's exactly what I would be doing if I were in that position right now. Super weird that he also went to hards here. I fully expected us to both go to the mediums. I don't like the crowd is cheering. What do they know? What do they know?
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Is that what they know? It's not close enough that I see him in the mirror. Boy, there's a first. Considering how competitive this field is, we just very rarely get lapped cars this season. But I see lapped cars on the map, and we are catching them. It's very possible we'll have to deal with them. Alright, Vettel, I feel like, has turned it up. He's going for another attack here. I've saved a little ERS myself. I can try to defend the easy car. Use it wisely. Little spurts out of the turns just to try and cover them. I don't know how far he'll send it down into that hairpin. So far, he hasn't really been willing to. He is mighty close right now, though. Snaking his draft a bit there while he's not terribly close. Yeah, we're definitely going to pass a couple of these lap cars. Hopefully they're smart about it. And it's the first time he's been actually next to us at all. I am a little concerned about fuel. Just the way it's been trending. So I'm going to save a little bit through this sector where we're not really using max power anyway. And I don't feel like he has a passing opportunity down here.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
Well noted, don't worry. That didn't help anything. Just let it run a little too wide there. At this point, basically burn it down, just use all the energy out of it. All right, Albon, be cool, please. Just be cool. That's all I ask. Okay, this should be a pretty good spot if he just pulls over here. Come on. No, this might be a terrible spot. Truly was.
Yellow flag.
It caused the yellow flag he pulled over so poorly.
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
Yes! Oh, that's different.
Right, some information
Grosjean is
from
out.
They're retiring from the race.
Vettel got stuck behind the lap car, too. Navigating that lap traffic was extremely critical here. I didn't want to have to swing it that wide in that turn, but it was a case of gotta do what you gotta do. That was a very dumb spot to try and pull over to let the leaders by. He could have waited easily for the next straightaway, or he could have done it on the previous straightaway. But they don't logic like that, so it is what it is. You know what is what it is? Through all the missteps along the way, we have claimed what is ours.
Nice work. That's P1. Race win. Well done.
It always is. It always is here, but that is just an intense, non-stop race.
Pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win.
There's no letting up here.
Anthony Davidson, Ferrari are at it again. An excellent performance at today's Grand
And another
Prix. And there's
1-2
certainly
for
a team
Ferrari.
that know what they're doing out there.
Good job, Red. Good job.
And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things
Ooh.
look in the drivers' table. Red takes over the lead of the drivers' championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
For me, it's Kimi Raikkonen, someone who definitely doesn't get enough attention for how well he performs out on the track.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us
What the heck,
when we
guys?
come back with more Formula One.
We're not gonna mention at all the fact that we took first place in points. No, that's not important. Well, whatever. All right, 26 points thanks to a barely better best lap of the race there on the end. on hard tires, on low fuel, and lots of stress. Leclerc must have had some problems in this one. Well, he started 6th and finished 7th, so yeah, just not a very good weekend for Leclerc, which is quite advantageous for us, and gives us a little buffer for some... No, not this. No. For some races in the future that might not be so good. Let's look at the highlights. Whew. That was not a very good race for me. Even though it was a win, and a win is good, and can't ask for any more, there were some serious missteps by myself in this race. Didn't get the best of starts, but I made the best of it. I feel like I got a little too heated in battling with Seb at some points. Oh, that should have been a wreck. That should have been it right there. Can I actually go back to that? I want to see that again. He hops the curb. That's what it is. I knew there was something that had happened. Something that had happened in the middle there. Dead sideways. You can see I wasn't even spinning the rear tires. I wasn't leaving marks. Really, that was really a bizarre incident. I can't explain it. So this must be after pit stops that we're seeing now. I don't know what it's gonna pick up for highlights from there. Hello, Flagman. Oh, this is after pit stops. This is after my pit stop anyway. Fighting this Williams. Didn't really get to see the actual fight there. Hope they got my run through the grass for no reason. Well, I mean, there was a reason for it. I know why it happened. One part distraction from the earlier incident, one part hard tires, and one part dirty air. A good race-long battle. I don't feel like it was the best race between us. I was really struggling to find places to pass him. So here, he took a massive inside block, right? Which put him on the curb. I think maybe I overreacted to it a little. I think maybe, wait, what's slow-mo? Oh, you don't get slow-mo in this. Do we even get pause? No, we don't. But here, on the exit, yeah, it's just hard to see from that view, but he took a major hop to the left and put him right in my trajectory where he previously wasn't. That's what I saw. That's what I reacted to. And then that is the race. GG's. GG's. That was a fun one. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you next time.